Are you ready? Are you ready for the thrill of victory? Are you ready to taste victory? Are you ready to take your sports betting to a whole new level? Sit up, put your feet on the floor, because we have work to do. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports betting show. Tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let us make you a more successful sports bettor.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Cap Nation Live, Tuesday, game day edition, Major League Baseball playoffs starting today. Good morning, everybody. The day after Monday Night Football. It always feels like a Saturday. Always feels like a Saturday or Sunday morning. We're up early, ready to grind, and coming off that big high of a nice big Monday Night Football win yet again. Congratulations, everybody, tuning in, tailing us, following, and hammering the snot out of the books. Congratulations again to everybody. Another Monday Night Football, and we do it again. Not too shabby, if you ask me. Congratulations, everybody tuning in on the Daily Free Play yesterday. Nothing like a soccer winner to start the morning. And then backing it up with a beautiful Monday Night Football play on Kansas City plus the points. Good morning, everybody. Brad tuning in. Sabino tuning in. So did you guys notice that they gave Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes as underdogs on back-to-back games? Well, I certainly did, because we took the Pack and we took Kansas City. Kyle B, good morning. Joshua, good morning. Glenn in the house, good morning, and you're very welcome. Brian Watson, good morning. Edward in the house, good morning. Jerry, good morning. Pendy, good morning. Michael in the house, good morning. Aston Villa, absolutely. Scott, absolutely. Jeff, good morning. See, we got a nice little crowd building. Chido in the house, good morning. Robert, you're very welcome. Thank you. Aaron, good morning. 17 Clipper in the house. Pat in the house. The other Michael in the house, good morning. DLN, good morning. Good morning, Greg. Tiny's New and Used Homes. Good morning. It was definitely a good day. Tom, good morning. We definitely kicked the teeth in of the books yesterday. Yet again. Monster day. And I don't know about you guys, but I plan to do it again today. We've got a great week ahead of us. Let me tell you, we got a great week ahead of us. We've got Major League Baseball today, obviously. And then starting tomorrow, the NBA Finals will resume. NBA Finals will resume tomorrow, which would be nice to have back. Heat and the Lakers, best of 7. Love it, Ryan. I love it. Don't mind me playing with the camera angles this morning. KDO, good morning. Definitely time for some breakfast money. Definitely time for some breakfast money. I see that Penn Gaming this morning wants to go in the opposite direction, down $3, down about 4.5%. While the market as a whole is hanging tough. Penn taking a poo-poo this morning. How about that Chiefs over? Now, full disclaimer, I was not on the over. The only part of the over I had was the over 47, which was on a teaser for all of our clients. That was the only part of the total that I was on. I was not on any other part of the total. And, man, except we had team totals, and we got shafted by an extra point in the first quarter. We had the first quarter over 10. That was the only bet we lost for our clients yesterday. With the exception of the little prop bets. And I don't even consider the prop bets because I put $250 on them compared to the $2,000 or $3,000 that I have on everything else at a minimum. But I had $1,000 on that prop. And it did not hit. Extra point killed us. Ended the first quarter at 9, but we cashed everything else. Kansas City Chiefs first half team total over 10.5, easiest winner of the night. Kansas City team full game team total over 24.5. We cashed that one with ease. Our teaser, we had Kansas City plus 10.5 and over 47. We cashed that with ease. And Kansas City plus 3.5 as a 14-point blowout winner. Jerry says he took the Chiefs over 12 first half. Yeah, we ended up getting it at 10.5 minus $1.15. And that was a good one. Extra point killed the over for the game. So if you guys were on the overall over for the whole game, 54.5 or 55, depending on where you got it. Man, those kickers. Hashtag NFL kickers for you right there. Reggie, good morning. Thank you for signing up for my personal plays. My personal plays are not out yet, but I will text you and reach out as soon as they're ready, which as soon as the live show's done, I'll be sending out my personal plays. I do have a soccer play again. That'll be going out to my clients. Another added value and benefit to getting on board. But it's gonna be a fun one today, folks. It's definitely gonna be a fun one today. Again, another day with not much on the board. There you are, Reggie. And thank you, brother, for getting on board. And I will be in touch as soon as we get off the live show. I'll have them ready for everybody and I'll start sending them out. Brian had the over at 53.5. I did not have the the total, the full game total. I ended up in-game betting the under 54.5 towards the very end on the before the Ravens' last drive. It was plus 150, and I threw $1,000 on it, paid $1,500. So I in-gamed the under at the very, towards the very end. The last one, I think it was at the 6-minute mark. And Patrick Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes things yesterday. I don't know why everybody doubts him. I don't know why everybody doubts the Kansas City Chiefs. What have they done that hasn't shown you that they're still the best team in the NFL? I mean, that's a fact. Have they lost since their Super Bowl win? No. I'm sorry, but 2 games without a preseason is not a good way to judge the future performance of a team. And all these people out there, from TV to everywhere I looked, everybody was talking about Lamar Jackson, the MVP, Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens. They are the most complete football team in the NFL. They are the best football team in the NFL. They might just run all over the Chiefs by 30 points. I heard somebody say on TV as well. What has Lamar done besides win an award? He didn't win a championship. He sure as hell can't win a game in a big game situation. We already know that. They flopped in the playoffs. And they flop every single time they play the Chiefs. They flop every single time they're in a big game situation. That team is not designed to play from behind. And oh boy, what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs defense? Why? Because Justin Herbert in week 2 put up 300 yards? Well, I'm sure they were not preparing for Justin Herbert all week to be slinging the ball. And last time I checked, they only gave up 20 points. Nathan says, hasn't won a playoff game, forget championship. Perfect, prime example. We don't even have to give him that much credit. They are not designed to play from behind. And the Kansas City defense, they showed up. And they showed themselves against San Diego. I'm so used to San Diego being the Chargers. The LA Chargers. And for the rest of my life, I'll probably always call them the San Diego Chargers. They only gave up 20 points. It was Patrick Mahomes that wasn't in sync in week 2. But when he did get his rhythm towards the end of that fourth quarter, they did what they needed to do in week 2, and they came back, they tied the game, and they won the game. And if it wasn't for the Chiefs' defense, they would have ended up getting blown out. But it was the Chiefs' defense that held him in check long enough for the quarterback, assuming that he stays healthy, will probably be the Michael Jordan of quarterbacks in our time. This kid is an absolute magician. And I can't believe how many critics are that still don't believe. It took me a while, too. It took me a while in his breakout season to start believing him. He's calm, he's cool, he's collective. His demeanor. It don't matter if he's down. It don't matter if he's up. He's out there smiling, having fun. He's not under pressure. He's not rushed. Meaning rushed to make a bad decision. Holds on to the football. Will take a lick to make sure that pass gets off right. And as Ryan said, the Kansas City defense definitely showed up. And so did their offense. Hot diggity dog. Just as we planned. But I got to tell you, the play calling by Andy Reid. And here's the thing. Andy Reid, he still is not getting the love and credit that he deserves. This guy and his play calling is absolutely insane. Just when you think you've got them figured out on what they're going to do down in the red zone, they pull out some crazy shit out of his playbook that's probably, it's got to be deep in the playbook. Bo King, you're very welcome. A little forward. A little forward toss to the fullback. Absolutely, Edward. Andy Reid is a magician as well in the play calling, in the playbook that they use. You remember that little forward toss to the fullback? They tried that last week. It didn't work. But they tried it with with Kelsey. 100% Hall of Fame coach. Dwayne, if you already have one, can you use the code? You can try, but I don't know if it works. It's usually for new signups. But I'm not allowed to discuss any of that here. YouTube has their policies, so if you want to email me, I'll be more than happy to. Email is kyle@cappersdirect.com. Absolutely. They're not a lockdown defense. They're going to give up points, but their offense is going to put up twice as many. Might have to take a spilled coffee all the way down my shirt this morning. Look at that. The first spill, legitimate spill in the history of Cappers Nation. Loose lips sink ships, right? Well, these ones just spilt my coffee. Thank God it wasn't burning hot. Thank God there's a little banner. You guys can see it. Time for our new Cappers Direct shirt. It's okay. I got a few to spare. We got a few to spare here. A little embarrassing, though, but nonetheless. Yeah, Edward, Kansas City dropping the 2 picks would have been a worse of an outcome. But again, people not giving any faith yesterday to Patrick Mahomes. Edward, that's a sign of good luck. I like it. Kyle B says when they get to full strength, their defense is only going to get better. And you got to remember, most teams that win the Super Bowl come out and they start slow and they progress. And they're just getting better. And they're just getting better. Taking a look at yesterday's stats, and we're going to get into baseball here in a minute. Patrick Mahomes went 31 of 42 for 385 yards. 4 rushes for 26 yards. Ryan C says black shirts. Absolutely. 1 rushing touchdown. 4 passing TDs. No fumbles by the QB. No interceptions by the QB. And then you take a look at the other hand. Lamar Jackson's stock can't be very high. He went 15 of 28. He did not even break 100 yards passing. He had 97 yards passing. How many times did he fumble the ball? Twice, but he gave it away once. They were able to recover it once. He did have 83 rushing yards. He had a couple big runs. Sacked 4 times. Under pressure. Does not perform well. Under pressure, they do not perform well. But man, if you give Lamar some space, that boy can run. 9 rushes for 83 yards. Ripped off a 19-yarder. Brad says Kyle Oscar's going to come back and blame him for the Ravens losing. Fantastic. Fantastic. How about the dipshit that posted the comment, because I call Aston Villa as for fun. You can't pronounce it, so I definitely wouldn't bet it. Cool, fool. Don't bet it. Nice 3-0 winner. Please, by all means, don't bet it. I mean, hell, I butcher half your guys' names. I'm going to butcher the team's names, especially the ones that ain't in our country. But nonetheless, nice winners yesterday all the way around. To everybody that either tailed us, were on our plays, congratulations. To the ones that lost, well, you know where to find solid information. And I tried telling you guys yesterday, Lamar wasn't going to be all what he's cracked up to be. I even put out a teaser tweet before the game. Patrick Mahomes or Lamar. And everybody, not that many people said it, but not that many people commented, but everybody that did was riding Lamar. And old Lamar got his teeth kicked in last night. If there was a crowd there, they would have been chanting for RG3. And let's be honest, RG3 wouldn't have done much better anyways. Although I do believe, back in the day anyways, RG3 could sling the ball. But nonetheless, he's a great filler for their system that doesn't play good from behind. But we've been saying that for a whole season and 3 games now. All right. Later in the week, we'll have Thursday night football. Boy, I got to tell you, 2 Thursdays in a row, they're giving us some real winners. Actually, 3 Thursdays in a row. Week 1, we had the Bengals and the Browns. Whoop-de-doo. This last week, we had the Dolphins and the Jags. Wow. And this week, they give us the Jets and the Broncos. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. What marquee matchups for Thursday, baby? Not, come on, NFL. At least next week. Not this Thursday, but a week from Thursday. At least we get the Bucks and the Bears on a Thursday night. Hot diggity dog. Big Dick Nick going up against the GOAT Tom Brady. That should be a good clash right there in Chicago in a week and a half. I do agree, Edward. I do agree. I don't think the Ravens will win a championship with Lamar. I just don't. They're not a complete team. They can't play from all angles. All right, so, nonetheless, we'll talk about Thursday's game later in the week. Friday college football action returns. No Thursday college football this week. Friday we get Campbell and Wake Forest and Louisiana Tech and BYU. BYU laying that big 24 against Louisiana Tech. Well, let's just hope that doesn't change anything or affect anything with game schedules. They did announce 13 minutes ago that they suspended in-person activities after positive Tennessee COVID-19 tests. This is coming from Ian Rappaport of the NFL. The Tennessee Titans had 3 players and 5 personnel test positive for COVID-19, the league announced. The Titans will suspend in-person activities for Tuesday out of an abundance of caution. The Minnesota Vikings, who hosted Tennessee on Sunday, will reportedly also work remotely Tuesday. No decision has been made regarding the Titans' Week 4 matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. More to come. More to come. I'm sure they'll make up. Every game missed will more than likely be made up. And keep in mind, it's not 8 players, 3 players, 5 personnel. So we'll watch that story. We'll see what develops there. Hopefully it doesn't affect anything with scheduling or anything like that. So what do we got today? We've got 4 baseball games, guys. Tomorrow we'll have the Heat and the Lakers. Lakers laying 5. You know, I want to talk about that for a minute before we get to baseball. Now, the Lakers series price has actually came down. I seen it as high as 700 after the Heat beat the Celtics. The Lakers to win right now is only laying 330. And I say only, 330, still a lot of juice. But in reality, the best of game series, 330 is not a lot. Juan, good morning. Raymond, good morning. And you're very welcome. Very welcome. Anthony says, remember his name is Patrick, not Pat. Exactly. Patrick Mahomes. The second. Don't forget to throw that in there. As far as this one goes, I was taking a look at the Bet Online and the odds boosters. Sometimes it's worth taking a look at the odds boosters to see what value there is. Like they have an odds boost on the NBA championship for the Heat to win at plus 325. Obviously, they're pulling you towards the Heat because they'd love for you to bet the Heat, let me tell you. And we got enough people here. There is a couple subjects that I want to talk about. And we'll talk about it after the NBA. But as far as game number one, as far as game one tomorrow goes, do the Heat put up a fight? I think they do. Do the Heat have a chance? I will always tell you this, and this is something that I preach. It doesn't matter which teams are playing. When it comes to winning a national championship, you have to be peaking at the right time. This is a peak. I mean, you have to be peaking at the right time. Edward says this is a family show. If this is a family show, you might want to get some earmuffs for your kids. Andre says the Celtics won the first quarter in the first two games. I have big money on the Lakers to win it all. You know, Andre, I'm right there with you. And I've been debating laying a big series bet on the Lakers. I keep going back and forth. I mean, let's be honest, minus 330. That's fairly competitive odds compared to what's been out there. But peaking at the right time is a big thing. Peaking at the right time is a huge part of winning a championship. The Heat are peaking. I said this when the bubble first started, before the very first game that the Heat played. I said that I liked the Heat. I liked what their coach was doing. When other teams weren't concerned or were concerned with their seeding and their matchup in the playoffs, if you guys remember, the Heat knew they'd make the playoffs. They'd win enough games in the bubble. But what I liked about the Heat organization when bubble play started is that they weren't concerned one bit with where they ended up in the seeding. They were not concerned one bit. All they wanted to do, focus on, and develop was their player chemistry and getting back into game day shape. And that's what they focused on in their little 8-game bubble play. And they did it damn well. And it shows the way that they're playing in every series that they've played so far. In every series that the Heat have played, it has shown. Pacers, Bucks, Celtics. They're playing like a more complete team than any other team out there. Now, matching up against the Lakers, I kind of agree with Andre. Andre says he thinks that the Heat come out strong in Game 1. But he thinks LeBron and Anthony Davis will wear him down throughout the series. Now, as far as Game 1 goes, an early lean, and this is just a lean, guys. This may change. It may not change. Totals set at 217.5 right now, and the total's going up. The total opened at 215, and then immediately went to 215.5. Okay? The line on Friday's game, on Game 2, is already out. The line on Game 3 is already out. The line on Friday has the same side. Actually, all the games. Game 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can bet right now. Why you would, I don't know. I wouldn't. Sash B says the Heat are not better than the Nuggets. Well, apparently, they made the NBA Finals, so they at least got farther, so I guess on paper they technically are. But I'm not here to debate who's better, who's not. I don't give a shit who's better or who's not. I just want to know which one's going to put money in our pockets tomorrow. That's what I want to know. Lakers laying 5. It's tempting. Lakers laying 5 is tempting. The Heat need to stay hot from 3. If they make it a competitive game, I think we see a lot of points. Total opened up at 215.5. I almost bet it yesterday. It's already up 2.5 points. It's up to 217.5. Hell, game number 2's total is already up to 218. As far as this one, an early lean, I don't know how. I mean, the Lakers come out hot in game 1s. We've seen it. Put the beat down in their last series. What did they do in game 1? LeBron says it was because he only got 15 MVP votes. Nah. That was never even a talk of him being pissed off until it was a good excuse on why he performed so well. The Lakers generally come out and smash game 1. Or LeBron does. I think the Lakers are the more rounded team. I think overall, the Lakers are built for success. The Heat are like the Cinderella story, so that part I do have caution on. Do I think it's going to be a close game? I'm going to dive more into it, but my early lean on it is the Lakers. I don't see how you could bet against LeBron James. But I could be completely wrong. Raymond, good morning. But again, early lane Lakers, and that may change between today and tomorrow when we're actually betting it. So take notice on that one. But early lean, I just want to discuss that one. Cosmic Jerry. Anthony says he may tease the Lakers in the over. That may be a viable option as well. That's not a bad play right there at all either. Depending on exactly, Edward. Now, speaking of teasers, somebody asked me, do I normally tease down the totals? You know, I'm not a big teaser guy, but when I do, we win. Generally, when I give out a teaser, we generally win. Yesterday's teaser, Casey in the over. the Heat can definitely be scary. And I've liked what they've done all bubble play. We made a lot of money on the Heat so far in the bubble. Made a lot of money on the Heat so far. All right, so back to Major League Baseball. Back to Major League Baseball. But first, Aaron, I agree with you on that one. That championship's coming back to LA. Now, as far as the Dodgers will choke somewhere along the way. Sorry, Dodger fans. The Dodgers will do Dodger things, and it may be in their 3-game series. It may just be in the 3-game series. Nah, they beat the Brewers. But anyways, back to Major League Baseball. We've got 4 games on the board today. And before we talk about baseball, there is a subject that I do want to talk about. Because it's getting pretty wild. With the power of social media, the power of Twitter, and the reach that it has, so many sports books have resorted mythical unicorn wagers. Andre, do I think the Dodgers lose to the Brewers? It's the Dodgers. It's possible. Kershaw hasn't been pitching that great as of late. Going off Dodger history, they generally choke in the playoffs at some point along the way. Do I think it's possible? I think anything's possible, especially this year. But the mythical wagers that we see going on, that we see getting posted and talked about. For instance, sources confirm $500,000 bet on the Twins today. Yada, yada, yada. DraftKings taking $500,000 on this. Here you go. The DraftKings Sportsbook reports taking $500,000 bet on the Twins to beat the Astros in Tuesday's game, laying $1.49. There's one prime example. ESPN reporting that Daniel Jones and the New York Giants cost bettors over $1 million. In week 3, there was 2 $500,000 wagers put on the Giants. And it was sportsbook operator DraftKings. I can assure you, in order to put 6 figures on a game, because I've done it and I've shown it to you guys with the tickets, you're under extreme scrutiny. Every angle, every time you turn in the casino, every time you go to bet a game, who, what, why, how, the whole works. To the point that even if I wanted to bet six figures on a game again, which I've shown off two tickets over the years, even if I'd wanted to, I would spread it out. Edward says that's advertising. My personal opinion, it's probably false advertising, is what I'm getting at. You got to remember, for example, the Astros are playing the Twins today. The Twins are somehow favored. Now Maeda, 6-1, stellar pitcher, 2.7 ERA, going up against Greinke. not the best year. Neutral site game. But yet if you get on Scores Mobile, they start talking about how the Twins are hoping to use home field advantage. Don't forget, Scores Mobile has a betting app for the East Coast. For everybody that gets their scores from Scores Mobile. And you read their write-ups over there, how they believe this team's going to take this team's going to do that. There are so many people that will blindly follow along with what happens on social media. For instance, this Monster Twins bet that they've been talking about for a whole day. I have news for you. Here you go. BetMGM in Mississippi, literally just minutes ago. One bettor just placed $250,000 bet on the Houston Astros plus 150, to win today's game against the Twins. A $250,000 bet. The full payout is $625. Under the BetMGM Major Wager Alert. Do you guys know what it's like to put a big bet down? Do you know the scrutiny that you have to do? It wasn't long ago I was in Caesars trying to put a $5,000 wager on a baseball money line. Shapendi, it wasn't the Yankees that cost me the six figures. It was the cheating Astros with that Altuve Game 2 two-run walk-off home run where they were cheating. That cost me the $100K. But I won it back the next day. I won 105. So I ended up making $5,000 for my pain and suffering. But it wasn't long ago I tried putting $5,000 on a money line. And it wasn't a big favorite. It was a minus 130 on the Indians. Caesars told me no. No problem. Jeff, we did just have it, and it's something that I want to be able to share with everybody because this hype train that Twitter's putting people on. Well, not Twitter directly, but the sports books. But yet I could go to the win and plop down $50K, which was their max money line wager. But yet if you read the sheet at Caesars, it says $25,000 was the max. But I was rejected for $5,000. If you really think these books are blindly taking a $500,000 wager on the Twins, either one of two things is happening. Either one, their liability on the Astros is so large, they will gladly accept a $500,000 wager to even out their books. Remember, the ultimate goal of the books is to have even money here and even money here. They match up. They make the vig, the juice, and they have a happy customer over here and an unhappy customer over here. They're happy. They made the juice. That's their ultimate goal. If money is pouring in on the Twins already, like people are saying that it is, there's no way they're going to take a $500,000 wager and expose themselves for a $500,000 loss on one ticket if all that money's coming in on the Twins. They're not doing it. I don't care who you are. Guys, there was a time where you could only really see a big wager come in on the Super Bowl. It was really the only time the books would really open up their liability. And if they're really trying to push money on one side, if they're trying to push you one direction, they're going to do it. and they'll use social media to their advantage. Now, most of the times when you see these major wager alerts from BetMGM or DraftKings, have you noticed they're losing? Pay attention to them. Not all of them. Twins may win by 1, they may win by 3, they may win by 30. Or the Astros may just beat them outright. I mean, after all, not like the Twins are that hot. Astros may have lost their last 3 games, but it's not like the Twins are that hot. What are they, 6-4 in their last 10? It's about peaking at the right time. It's a best-of-3 game series. You're telling me the Twins are a better team than the Astros? Very debatable. When sports books are emailing you and they're saying, hey, this is what our expert, take this play, take that play, be careful. If they have some guy that's the face of their sports book, and I'm not going to name him, most of you guys know who it is, and they're very big on the East Coast, and they have a brand new sports book in Pennsylvania, and they put out all kinds of free content. It's generally for entertainment, but take this play, take that play. Bet in my sportsbook app over here. And then they say, oh, this guy's betting $80,000. The face of the company's betting $80,000. And they lose continuously. Kentucky money line, thank me later. Thank me later. If Scott says free is not free if you lose. So what I'm trying to say is be careful. Is be very careful on what you're following. Well, I wouldn't assume that I'm on anything. That's for sure. That is for sure. I wouldn't assume that I'm on anything. Arturo P in the house. What's going on, my brother? What is going on? Give me 1 second, folks. Give me 1 quick second. Just double checking something. But back to the big wagers that you see on Twitter. Don't blindly follow them because you guys see some major guy has a $500,000 wager on this, a $200,000 wager on this, a $50,000 wager on that. My first and last day off for the week until I go pick up the kids from school. Well, enjoy your day off. So, guys, just be careful is what I want to say when you see DraftKings Sportsbook took a $500,000 bet on this, or they took a $500,000 bet on that, or Joe Blow from their own sportsbook has a $80,000 money line wager on this, or a $50,000 money line wager on that. Yeah, Arturo, they definitely don't age very well. They definitely don't age very well on Twitter, that's for sure. It's, if I did anything, I'd probably just go, insta-fade. Insta-fade the major wagers. You probably end up ahead. I should track them and see what what I can find. All right, so now to Major League Baseball. In the 4 games that we have today, obviously, I'm not going to be able to give you my full opinion on every side in total, because obviously we have our plays for our clients. Joshua Scott, who is a sports book in PA, just so you can stay away. Well, they're very huge on Twitter. They have a very big social media presence around the country, radios, and that nature. Now, their sports book looks amazing, but I wouldn't take their advice. I would never take the sports book's advice on where to bet. That's for sure. All right, so we've got 4 games today. Astros and the Twins coming up at 11 on the West Coast, 2 on the East Coast. We got the White Sox and the A's. A's coming in as the dog. White Sox coming in laying the juice. Not too much. The biggest juiced game of the day, the Tampa Bay Rays laying $1.90 against the Toronto Blue Jays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Edward, you're killing me. Then in the evening game, we've got the Yankees and the Indians. We'll go over that one. I already gave out a daily free play on that one as well. Barry Smith says your advice ain't so hot either. Hey, Barry, well, we're 7-0 on free plays, so I'm wondering how we're not that hot. Premium plays are 8-1, so I'm wondering how we're not that hot. So if my advice is not that hot, how do you explain that? And that's all verifiable. I can't talk this morning. Verifiable. So explain that one. Aaron, do I ever think they'll put out regulation on sports wagering? See, they do in Nevada. You're not going to see the president or the sportsbook director for MGM or the Westgate or Caesars get out there and give you a free play or make a video and say, take the Ravens. It's my lock of the year. You'll never see that. They'll get in trouble by the Nevada Gaming Commission. My college picks? Oh, hey, Barry. Yeah, if you forget, Saturday, I gave you guys 2-0 free plays. Auburn laying the 6.5, as well as, oh, yeah, what was it? Huh? What? Oh, yeah, Virginia Tech. Yeah. I forgot. What was that Saturday? College football free plays. Yeah, oh, that's right. 2-0. Want me to repeat it? Auburn laying the 6.5. You can go back and watch Saturday's daily free play video. And then Saturday's live show. Virginia Tech. Don't forget our big Saturday, guaranteed Saturday play. Oh yeah, Tulane laying the 3. But thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by, Barry. Have a great day. See you later, Barry. We love you. Don't forget to hit the unsub button on your way out the door, okay, sir? Thank you. It's probably Oscar because I deleted them or got rid of them, whatever you call it. But anyways, they're not wasting our time. We just get to say hello. Pat says too much drama. There's no drama here. There's no drama here. So, got the Yankees, Indians tonight. Total on that one, 6.5 minus $1.07. The line on the Indians came down just a tad bit. They're now laying $1.03. They were minus 105 last night. The Yanks now the favorite. Laying $1.07. Whoo, big favorite there. Big favorite. Indians coming in at plus 1.5 on the run line, minus $1.84. Yes, Barry, don't forget to hit the thumbs down on your way out the door. Now, the first game on the board, Astros Twins. First of all, I'm going to be honest with you guys. We have a premium play on this game. If you're on premium plays, log into your account. We have a premium play on the early game. So if you're going to want to know my opinion on the side, I'm sorry. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. You're going to have to get on board. You know, Corey, I agree with you with the trash can comment. Them suckers cost me a lot of money a couple years ago. Yeah, Brad, we're not that hot. We're not that hot. You know, he would have said that a week ago, and I would have been like, yeah, we're in a little rut. It happens. It happens. If you expect somebody to win 365 days a year, you must be on some good acid. Must have a real good trip going. But can't really say that right now. All right, so Astros Twins total on this one opening up at 7.5. It's actually plus money, plus 103. The books are juicing the totals. If you haven't looked, the books are juicing the totals. They've usually got them today about a half a point higher than where they probably should be. The Astros and Twins is at over 7.5 at plus money, plus 103. The White Sox and the A's is at 7.5. However, they're actually holding it strong there at 119 between both of those two teams. That's the only one on the board that I don't feel, in my personal opinion, is juiced. That and the Yankees total. The Yankees total was 7. They dropped it down to 6.5. But obviously, with that pitching matchup, Bieber and Cole, it probably warrants, I would say, a 7. They're definitely enticing you with the mind tricks on the under. What happens is, and this happens all the time, is the books will make a total low so that it throws you off and you instantly start thinking, oh, wow, okay, maybe we should take the under. Maybe we should take the under. I mean, let's be honest. Low basketball totals instantly have you start thinking about a defensive game. Why? Why is the total on this game 6.5? Why is the total? When's the last time in baseball we've seen 4 games where there's not one total over 7.5? Obviously, game 1 in the best of 3, we're going to get the best pitching matchup. We're going to get some of the best pitchers to face each other. I mean, heck, take a look at Greinke today. Greinke's been hit in every one of his games. Every one of his games he's been hit. Every one of his games he's given up runs. There hasn't been a game yet where Greinke hasn't given up 3 runs. Greinke's going to give up runs. Maeda, he gives up runs too. Maybe not as consistently a 3-run game. His last outing, his last little tune-up before the playoffs, 6 days ago, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits in 6 innings. Gave up that 1 home run. He had 9 strikeouts, though. Guy was on fire. Against the White Sox, he gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. I actually like how some of the seeding went between these two teams today. When you start taking a look at it, I mean, how cool is it with some of the matchups that we get today? I love the fact that the Indians are playing the Yankees. Now, the Blue Jays and the Rays, we'll talk about more about that one. Corey says Greinke's fastball is pathetic. That if his off-speed has any discrepancy, they lose bad. He's definitely going to have his off-speed pitch, no doubt about it. But as far as the total on this one goes, over 7.5, honestly, in my opinion, it's juiced. They have it a half a point added onto it in most places. If you find it at 7, I actually like it. The over. As far as the 7.5, do I like it? I think both teams give up runs here. I think both teams give up runs in this game. Now, am I expecting a ton of runs? Obviously, between these two pitching matchups, Greinke will be the wild card. Maeda's going to give up runs. He's good to give up a couple runs. Greinke doesn't usually disappoint in a big game situation. Going back to his time with LA, which I don't feel he's the same pitcher. When he went and got traded or signed, when he went from the Dodgers and signed with the Diamondbacks, drawing a blank, looking at a sale. Thank you, Zach, for jumping on board my personal plays. If you're watching, sir. And Shannon, thank you for jumping on board my personal plays. They will be out as soon as we're off the live feed here in a little bit. Jeff, wild card series are at home. Divisional series will be in the bubble play. So Twins are at home for the wild card series. Bubble play, they start for the divisional series. But as far as the total goes, I think the over 7.5 is a viable option. I'm not a fan of the 7.5. I want to put that part out there. The 7.5, I like the over. I love it at 7. If you could get 7, I think 7's a viable option. I don't see this being a 3-2 game. Jeff, I was under the same assumption that you were until I looked it up yesterday. I thought everything was taking place in their bubble. I was mistaken until yesterday. But remember, home field advantage, unless you're putting in crowds, a full crowd, I don't think there's that much of an advantage. Other than the ability to sleep in your own bed, I don't see much of a home field advantage for any of these teams. I don't. Now, I know they're allowed up to like 750 friends and family each team for the home team. The home team. I don't see 750 fans spread out social distancing being any added benefit to the home team. I really don't. Just like we've seen in so much of the soccer matches overseas, just like we saw in football. Home field didn't really matter for the Ravens last night. Didn't matter for the Saints. So as far as home field advantage goes, unless they're allowing full fans in, Throw that right out the window. You guys, like for instance with Greinke, he may have a gem today. Greinke is a special character who, if I'm not mistaken, is borderline autistic. That came out a couple years ago. Take out the fans, take out any added distractions, and like they've been playing, as far as pressure, between both of these, Maeda, big game situation for the Twins. Astros have been there. Astros have been doubted and been there. They're coming in as a big plus 150 dog. They've been there. I think the Astros come in cool, calm, and collective. And I think they still have a chip on their shoulder. With Greinke, I agree. Nowadays, you never know what you're going to get. From his time at the Dodgers, he was rock solid, and he was worth the $100 million contract in LA. The Dodgers obviously saw something that did not warrant giving him the big bucks to keep him on their roster. The Dodgers had the best 1-2 punch in baseball with Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke years ago. They obviously let him go. They let him go to Arizona. Arizona got rid of him. No trash cans allowed in the stadium. But can you imagine this? Can you imagine if the Astros somehow won the World Series this year? Can you imagine what happens? They won when they cheated, and they won when they didn't. The haters will absolutely flip a lid. Talk about liberals needing safe spaces and all those jokes. Can you imagine the safe spaces that all the Astro haters are going to need? Can you imagine if it was the Astros and the Dodgers in the World Series? Joe Kelly going to plunk another batter? Would be awesome to see, first of all. That would be a series I would actually pay to see. Little revenge factor. Not saying at all that the Astros are going to win it, but could you imagine if they did? So if you don't think that they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, I definitely think otherwise. As far as the total goes on the first game, I do lean towards the over. But I do like if you can find it at 7. It's over 7.5 at plus money right now. It's plus 105. It actually just went up 2 ticks. I would possibly wait. I would take a look at it right before game time. I don't see it going to 8 at all. It's not trending in that direction. It's trending in a downward direction. If you can get 7, fantastic. If you can't, I still think there's a viable option at 7.5. The added value that it's plus money. Houston team total over 3. Definitely very interesting. They're not predicting the Astros to do much at all with the Twins. Corey says, no disrespect, but the Astros and the Cubs look suspect. I agree. I 100% agree. Peaking at the right time is so important in the playoffs. And when you have a 3-game series, a best of 3, the first 1 to 2 wins. The first 1 to 2 advances. I'm not a fan of the 3-game series. I'm not a fan. 5-game at a minimum, in my personal opinion. But wild card series, it's better than the 1-game wild card matchup that we normally get. That's a fact. As far as the money goes, as of right now, 81% of the money coming in, all rolling on the Twins. Now, this number will get updated a little bit, but as of right now, 81%. All riding on the Twins. Imagine that one. Actually, yeah, it's 81%. No, I'm incorrect. I'm not reading it right. 86% are on the Twins, money line. 81% are on the Twins, run line. 68% that I see right now coming in on the over. And they're keeping it at 7.5 at plus money. The books are begging people to take the under. So as far as this one goes, I do lean towards the over. As far as the Astros and the Twins, a lot of public money on the Twins. A lot of public money on the Twins. And I'm never going to say that the public doesn't win, because the public does win. The public wins just as much as a sharp bettor. The sharp probably just beats the closing line a little bit better, a little more often. 81% was on the over yesterday as well. Imagine that one. So as far as the side goes, we have a premium play on it. If you want to know what it is, you got to get on board. But it's going to be a nice winner. We're going to start out on the right foot. Do the Twins get the job done today? Or do the cheating Stros, with a very shaky at best Greinke? If the Astros win today, one of two things have to happen. Greinke needs to go 7 innings at a minimum and pitch lights out, which we haven't seen this year. Or their bats will have to overcome the runs that Greinke gives up, which is possible. That's only the options for the Astros to win. What do the Twins need to do? Maeda's got to pitch his little heart out. Same scenarios. And the Twins need to take advantage of anything that Greinke does that's off. Public definitely hit the over yesterday, no doubt about it. They absolutely did. All right, so we need to go through some of these a little bit faster because I got to get my personal plays out to everybody. Henry, thanks for jumping on board my personal plays. I know you're in the live chat as well. You, Shannon, Zach, Reggie. Zach, I know you got premium plays as well. Those are already posted. But my personal plays to everybody that signed up for them this morning. Buy 3 days, get 3 days free. Same thing with premium plays. That sale does end tonight. The buy 3 days, get 3 days free, that does end tonight. But I'll be sending out my personal plays here in just a little bit because we don't have that much longer on the live show. But here's a link to the buy 3, get 3 free. Chapetti says, I just took the Astros 3.5 over on the total plus 125. Man, their team total over is very attractive, let me tell you. Alex says that was a huge hint. Premium play is Twins, LOL. Well, sometimes you may be correct, sometimes you may be wrong, but the best avenue is just to jump on board rather than assume. Corey Crawford, well, there's a lot that kept the total from going over in that game. All right, so next game on the board. White Sox, Oakland A's. All right, White Sox and the A's. As of right now, I do not have $1 on this one. I do not have $1 on this game. I probably will. I'm not sure just yet. Taking a look at this one, first of all. A's coming in as the home dog. As the home dog, plus 109 for the A's. Minus 119 for the White Sox at BetOnline, total at over and under 7.5. As I said earlier, this one is the only total that I don't feel is juiced. I don't feel they're taxing you a half a point or half a run on this one. Max Leroy says the A's money line plus 109. The A's on the run line plus 1.5 is minus $1.55. Plus 1.5 minus 1.5 for the White Sox at plus 135. White Sox, Penny says, are looking good. I do have a question for you. What is looking good about the White Sox? I mean, and I'm not being rude or disrespectful, because I'd like to know. They just wrapped up a 3-game series with the Cubs, who couldn't win if you handed them a W on a silver platter as of late. They allowed the Cubs bats to wake up. They lost 10-0 in the first game. They beat them in the second game 9-5, and then they lost 10-8 in the third game. They single-handedly allowed the Chicago Cubs to wake up 3 games before the playoffs start. The White Sox have won a whopping 2 out of their last 10 games. White Sox hit lefties very good. That is a fact. That is a fact. They are facing a left-hander today in Luzardo. The White Sox do hit a left-handed pitcher very well. So again, the question is, now it's not like the A's are just red hot leading into the playoffs. Mauricio, I don't know what day it is just yet. I'm still working on it. But when I have it ready, I will definitely announce it to everybody. It's not like the A's are trending in the right direction. They're 5-5 out of their last 10. But the White Sox, trending in the right direction? I think not. White Sox on the road. You got Giolati against Luzardo. I'm sorry, Lucas Giolati, or however you pronounce his name, I'm going to butcher his name, and I'm going to butcher everybody's name. White Sox are 14-0 versus lefties this year. They hit a lefty exceptionally well. They hit a lefty exceptionally well. That they do. As far as going up against Jesus Luzardo, not happening. This is their first meeting of the year. Back last year in spring training, they got to face them. They didn't fare so well. Now, Luzardo only came in for 2 innings. He started the game. Well, 2 1/3 inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. But then again, that was last year's White Sox in spring training, so I take that with a grain of salt. Aaron, I don't take much stock in the last couple games. You guys know that. But I'm looking back more than the last couple games. If you're already trending in the right or in the wrong direction and you still can't get your bats cracking. But obviously it's the playoffs, so everybody comes to play. Everybody brings their best game, and attempting their best performances, pitchers, in the playoffs. As far as this one, the total being over 7.5, I think multiple things can happen. And this is all going to be on the pitchers and the pressure that they feel. Lucas Giolito, can he give up runs? He does. He generally doesn't get tagged. He's going to go 5 or 6 innings. Now, if he's pitching a gem, they'll let him go 7. He gives up runs nearly in every game. He didn't pitch a complete game, and it was a shutout game against the Pirates, but that's not hard to do against the Pirates. But as far as going up against Oakland today, don't forget, they've already faced him in the past. Oakland faced them last year. They put up 2 runs on 5 hits. Lucas got the best of them there. The A's put in some work on Lucas over the years. They faced him a few times. This is not the first time that they've seen him. That is not the first time that they've seen Lucas Giolito. That does favor into the A's. As far as the total on this one, I go back and forth from leaning towards the over, leaning towards the under. I can plead a case that we're going to see a great pitcher's duel, and it's going to be a 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 5-1, 5-2 type of game. Afternoon in the Bay Area. $75 degrees. That ball's going to be got a little extra zip on it. Supposed to be a 6-mile-an-hour wind out of the northwest. As far as this one goes, I feel late in the game we're going to see some runs. Late in the game, we're going to see some runs. I would not be surprised after 5 or 6 innings to see this game sitting at 3 or 4 runs or less, 2-3 runs in the first, 5-6 innings. I think late when the bullpens come on, I think we see some damage on both sides. Luzardo is not going to get out of 6 or 7. We're not going to get 7 innings out of him. It just doesn't happen. So I do lean towards the over. And this is the only total that I don't feel is actually juiced by a half a point. As far as the side on this one, I do lean towards the A's. I like them on the run line. Am I betting that one? As of yet, no. I may end up betting it. But I do lean towards the A's. I think there's value in laying a tad bit of juice rather than taking them as the home dog. I'd rather take that extra point. Playoff game, close game situation, best of 3. I don't think if you were going to take a side, I don't think you can go too wrong with Oakland, plus 1.5. I would take that before I took the plus money. Not like now, if it was plus 150, maybe I'd take a stab at the money line. But it's not. They're not giving me that much. So I look at the value side of it. As far as the first 5, the total is over and under 4. Both pitchers give up runs. So I'm off the first 5 or the total or anything like that. Both team totals 4.5 for the White Sox, 3.5 for the A's. First inning draw is not a bad option. First inning draw is not a bad option. Now, I haven't been able to find if they have this option on BetOnline just yet. I'm sure they do somewhere. I just haven't found it. They have a total runs, hits, and errors for the first inning. But I haven't seen an inning prop, not yet anyways. But first inning draw is definitely a very viable option. If I find it, I would bet it in this matchup. That I definitely would. Angel, thank you for jumping on board my personal plays. I will have them out here very shortly. My personal plays will be going out here very shortly. No, Sabino, I don't do first inning under. I look for the draw option. 1-1, 2-2, that's a draw. 1-0, the game goes over in the first inning because of a solo home run, and then you lose. We went over this a while ago when we were using 5 dimes. If the draw is an option, first inning draw, I absolutely love it in this one. Not bad. Not bad, Brad. All right, so moving along. The next game. The Blue Jays and the Rays. The Rays coming in laying that big juice. The Rays laying the juice this morning. Just popping the odds back up for this one. Draw minus 157. Yeah, you're with two solid pitchers, you're usually going to be laying juice. Juice only matters if you lose. Minus 157. I've bet a hell of a lot. Minus 210 on FanDuel. Yeah, I'm not laying 210. FanDuel's juiced usually. All right, Blue Jays and the Rays. Rays laying $1.93. That line has actually gone up since we've been live. Minus 190 for no runs. I don't do the no run option anymore. I don't like it. I'd rather take the draw. 1-1 is made me a lot of money once we switched over. And we found that on Sports Betting Prime. As far as the total goes, over and under 7.5. Shoemaker against Blake Snell. Good old Snell, it's time to shine. Can Tampa Bay bring another championship back to their hometown in the same year? Is it possible? I do believe the Rays have a legitimate, obviously being the top seed, a legitimate chance. Blake Snell 4-2 on the year. Did get pushed around in his last start on the 22nd. It's been 7 days. Sabino, when do you ever see a first inning 2-2? Believe it or not, quite often. How many times did we take the Reds and it would be 1-1 or 2-2 and we would take the Reds first inning as a draw? Go back and watch some of the live shows, Sabino. You'll see a big... But I'd take the draw over no run every single day of the week. I take the better value. I take the better chance at winning over the better line. Remember, juice only matters if you lose. But you see a lot of first innings, 1-1, tied up after 1, no matter what the score is. As far as Blake Snell, he got pushed around in his last meeting a week ago against the Mets. 5 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs. He had 3 walks. Blake Snell's been trending in the walking direction. Against Toronto, he's already faced him a couple times. First game of the season, faced him. Came in for just 2 little innings. Stellar start. 3 hits. Lucky. That's that ground ball pitcher. Gave up 3 hits and 2 walks. He put himself in a jam in that game, if you guys remember correctly. And he pitched himself right out of it. He had 5 strikeouts and a double play to get out of those jams. Out of his 7 outs. Now, in spring training, they beat him up. Spring training this year, before they canceled baseball, they beat up Blake Snell. The Blue Jays did. Last September, Toronto has reached out and touched Blake Snell. I don't want to say exceptionally well, but they reach out and they touch him. Literally in every game. No, Matt Shoemaker, I'm not real high on his stock. He has had some quality games over the years. This year alone, not that many starts. Obviously, that'll come into play. His last outing on the 21st against the Yankees, went in for 3 innings, a little tune-up. Gave up 1 run on 3 hits, 2 walks. As far as this game goes, I think we see a lot of, not a lot, but I think we see a fairly decent amount of walks between both of these teams. Both of these teams, I do believe, give up runs. The first, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. It is the playoffs, and pitchers usually show up for the playoffs. Playoffs are usually generally lower scoring, tighter games. This is a different baseball this year. There's no home field advantage. Yeah, they might be playing in their own home stadium, but there's no fans other than, I think they get 750 friends and family limited to the home team only. The first 5 is over 4 at plus 100. I like the first 5 in this matchup. I really do. I'm going to put a small little wager on it. I'm not going to give it out as a free play. If you guys want to tail it, fantastic. If you fade it, fantastic. I really don't care. I'm going to put a small little fun money wager on the first 5 over 4 here. I think worst case scenario is we're sitting at 4 after 5. I think the fact that the Blue Jays have a fairly decent record facing Blake Snell. They've reached out and touched him. They hit him exceptionally well. There seems to be not a game or an outing where if Blake Snell came in for 2 or 3 innings that they don't put up 4 or 5 hits on him. When he pitches 6 innings, they're getting 6, 7 hits, 2 or 3 walks. But he'll command the zone with a strikeout, and he'll get himself out of a jam with a double play ball more times than not. The thing that I don't like about the Rays is they haven't had the offensive output like they had earlier in the season. Now, against the Orioles, I thought they were going to spark it after they put up the 10 runs. Then they won 2-1, they won 3-1, they lost 2-1, they won 2-1, they lost 5-2. Then again, their last game against the Mets, they put up 8 in their win. They put up 6, 4, and 5 in their sweep over the Phillies. Now they're winning games, but they've been winning it with great defensive play in the field and great pitching. Total drop for you, fantastic. But as far as this one goes, I do lean towards the first 5 over 4. And I like the dog here, not to win the game. I think we see a close contested battle. Unless Shoemaker just has an absolute horrible game. Unless Shoemaker just has an absolute horrible game and the Rays bats, which haven't been cracking, start shipping balls over the wall. I see this one being closer than a lot of people are expecting at minus 190 on the Rays, minus 193. So if I did anything on this one, which as of right now I'm not, I'm just leaning towards it. I haven't released my plays. But I do lean towards the Blue Jays plus 1.5 here, minus 121. The Blue Jays have been a pesty team all year long. The fact that they're even in the playoffs shows how pesty they've been. I think this is going to be a close game. I really do. I really do. I think the Blue Jays are a live dog even at plus 177. The Blue Jays have put some hurt on some very quality teams this year. They split a 4-game series in August. They lost 6-5. They won 2-1. They won 5-4, and they lost 6-4. 4-game series before that. 3-game series before that. They took the best of 3. Now, they got beat up. They lost 12-4 in that one. Then they beat them 3-2 and they beat them 7-5. In July, the Blue Jays beat them 2 out of 3 games. They lost the first one 6-4. They beat them 4-1 and 6-5. Folks, I think we have a live Blue Jays team here. I think we have a live dog at plus 177. I'm going to put a small little lean on the money line at plus 177. But I actually think the plus 1.5 has a lot of value. And I think it's live. Now, the last game on the board, we're going to go over that one. First of all, Yankees, Indians. I already gave out a free play on it. All right, I already gave out a free play on it during the daily free play video. So if you're tuning in now, and that line's consistently dropped. It was 105, it was 103, now it's 102. I gave out a free play on the Indians. Yankees are laying 108, Indians 102. Pretty much a pick any direction. You can get them at plus 1.5, minus $1.80. You got to take the juice there if you were wanting to take them on the run line. I actually think they're a live team today. Shane Bieber against Garrett Cole. No offense, but I would take Bieber over Cole any day of the week. Now, obviously, the Yankees, their postseason experience 100% favors the Yankees. First of all, it's the New York Yankees. The pressure is on the Yankees not to lose to the Indians. Imagine if the Yankees go down in the wild card series, the pressure, the contract. I know Brad was asking about that. Do I think the money that Cole's getting brings added pressure? No. Cole's making money, baby, and whatever happens, happens. Now, he wants to win just as much as Bieber. But I can promise you the Indians have a lot more to prove than the Yankees. And I think between their aces today, I'm taking the 8-1 Shane Bieber and his 1.63 ERA and 122 strikeouts on the year over Garrett Cole. Shane Bieber hasn't given up over 3 runs in a single game this entire season. He's got 5 outings with no runs where he held the opponent scoreless. His last outing against the White Sox went 5 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. He did have 3 walks. That's the one thing that with Bieber that he does. He's a strikeout pitcher. He gives up a lot of deep counts, a lot of walks. That's why you see him usually only go about 6 innings. Now against the Twins back in the end of July, he did go 8 innings. Gave up 3 hits. He had 13 walks. Guys, he struck out 14 Royals in a game back in July. Then the next game he struck out 13 Twins batters. He had 11 in back-to-back games against the Tigers and the Pirates. And then 10 against the Twins. Then 10 against the Brewers. And then 10 in each of his final games against the Tigers and the White Sox. Garrett Cole gives up home runs. Indians like to hit home runs. Garrett Cole gave up a home run in his last outing against the Blue Jays. It was the 1 run he gave up. Pitched 7 complete innings. Now, I expect him to get 5 to 7 innings, somewhere around there, probably closer to the 6 to 7 innings out of Garrett Cole. He gives up runs. He's had a couple scoreless games. He has had the luxury of not having to face the Indians this year. They did face him in August of last year. Obviously, he wasn't with the Yankees. They did put up 1 run on him in 7 innings. I think we see a great pitcher's duel. As far as the total over and under 6.5, I'm completely off of. No side whatsoever. There is a free play on the Indians. Minus 105. It's minus 102 now. All right. Now, another one. Another game. Well, not another game, but another avenue of this game. When you're taking a look at the first five, it's at 3. Chances are it probably goes under. However, 3 is not that many runs. Both of these teams can hit home runs. The Yankees hit home runs like the best of them. Bieber puts up a lot of walks. He leaves one hanging against a Yankees batter with a runner or 2 on, and it's going over the wall. That over 3 option, I would either take the over or I wouldn't bet it at all. Okay? So for the first 5, I would take either the over 3 or I would bet it not at all. Now, 3 runs, it's not a lot to a pitcher in Cole that gives up home runs, Bieber who walks batters, with Yankee batters that will be ready to tag one that's left hanging. Oregon says Cleveland sucks. Well, I'd have to say they're 8-2 in their last 10. Shows otherwise. But in big game situations in the postseason, yes, the Indians have not been the best. So I do lean towards the over 3. However, I'm staying clear of that one. To me, it's either the first 5 over or it's a pass. Now, as far as an additional free play for everybody, hot diggity dog. I was just double checking a line on something. All right, so as far as free plays go, obviously we have the Indians. I am betting that. Fade, follow, it don't matter to me. I'm betting it. As far as an additional free play, the Toronto Blue Jays run line. I'm expecting this one to be a close game. I'm not expecting the Rays bats to come out and absolutely crack the Blue Jays. Shoemaker is a quality pitcher. He doesn't give up a lot of runs. He doesn't go very long, but we could be surprised today. He does have the capability over the years to go 7 innings. I think best we get 6 out of him. Playoff situation, maybe we get 7. They squeeze 7 out of him. Knowing that baseball this year, there's no day offs in between series games. All right? They're playing every single day consistently until the World Series. So being able to use your Game 1 starter on Game 3 is going to be on 1 day's rest. So take that into consideration on who's got a good bullpen and who doesn't, and who will be more willing to go to it so that their star pitcher gets that extra day's rest or gets that less of a workload for an outing. I can see it being a possibility in some of these. So, free play, Toronto, plus 1.5. Minus 121. We'll put it up on the board. Princess Chachu says Cleveland doesn't cover the run line. Well, Cleveland's getting 1.5, so obviously you think the Yankees are going to blow them out. So fade our free play. But I will caution you, we are 7-0, so on free plays. So fade, follow. I really don't give a shit where you guys bet or don't bet. I know where I'm betting, and I know where I'm making money. So let's get these ones up on the board for you guys. We've got Toronto +1.5, which is -121 at Bet Online. And then what should say Cleveland. Which is -102 right now. Which is even better than what I gave out last night, in my opinion. Corey, glad we see eye to eye. Fantastic. I love it. Now, as far as the Yankees and the Indians, clean up this screen for you. There you go. Now you guys can see it. As far as the Yankees and the Indians series price, the Yankees are only laying $1.13 as the favorite to win the best out of 3. Imagine that one. Imagine that one. Even the bookmakers have it even Steven. And they know at that price, the Yankees are one of the biggest public bet teams besides the Red Sox and the Dodgers. So the money is going to pour in on the Yankees. So good luck to everybody betting that one. Yes, Michael, I just flashed it for you. All right, guys. I am going to get out of here. I got to get everybody on my personal plays. Don't forget, if you're not on board, get on board. Buy 3 days, get 3 days free does end tonight at midnight. So take advantage of it. $99, buy 3 days, get 3 days free. We're going to continue the winning. Premium plays are hot, hot, hot. And I screwed up the board again. There we go. There we go. I'm screwing up the board all over the place today. Winners we're about to be on. Michael, you're very welcome. And again, fade, follow, always bet at your, do your own due diligence. Always bet within your means. Never bet what you can't afford to lose. We'll be live again tomorrow. Same time, same place, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We'll break down the NBA in its entirety. Major League Baseball, we got even more games tomorrow. We'll try and take a live look ahead at Thursday Night Football. So hit that subscribe button right down below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you do not miss a beat on anything that we do. Daily free plays every single day and a daily free play video. Live shows 7 days a week. So hit that subscribe button. Also, follow me on Twitter at CapNationKyle. Put out more additional free plays there all the time, as well as post copies of my tickets. You want to bet alongside somebody that actually bets the games for thousands of dollars, you're in the right place. Follow me on Twitter. I post copies of my tickets each and every single day. And not just winning tickets. I show losing tickets too. All right? I'm proud of my losing tickets as well. Not that I lost, but the fact that I show you guys that I'm real. So everybody on my personal plays, stand by. Give me about 5 minutes. They'll start being sent. Remember, I send them out one by one, and there's a whole shit ton of you. So they take me about 20 minutes. So get ready to bet one. All right? We do have a soccer game coming up. Jeff, I know I turned you into a soccer bettor, and it's going to be just like Aston Villa's yesterday. So Don't miss out, guys. I'll see you guys all live tomorrow. And we'll all talk soon. All right, guys? Good luck to everybody. Let's hammer the books today yet again. All right? Good luck. Always bet within your means. And don't do anything stupid. Good luck, everybody.